Another reason why there's 10 bodies, 6 of them children, under the bloody floorboards. The first President of the United States, George Washington, was not just a high-degree Freemason. The whole inaugural ceremony was run by Freemasons. There's pictures of it, the bloody aprons as they walked down. They took over America under the guise of freedom. And then we've got old Thomas Jefferson, another bloodline guy. He actually wrote that all men are created equal while owning 200 black slaves. I mean, can I have a word, mate? Just a little word here. I mean, you know what I mean? Because right up to the present day, very easy to say. You don't have to live it, you just have to convince the people that that's the case. Then you do as you like. It's called winning elections. And now we come down these bloodlines of presidents to this guy, George W. Bush. And maybe he won't win the election, but 3 years ago I predicted that he would be the next president of the United States. Not because I'm a genius or a prophet, but because when you understand the bloodlines and how high this guy up is in the hierarchy for a president, then everything starts to fall into place. This guy, George Bush, has an astonishing history. And if you just read my books or go into the website, you'll see the sort of stuff this guy is into. It is staggering. And he is the man named more than any other as a shapeshifter. Again, rising sun. And again, when you look in these Illuminati-controlled magazines like Newsweek and Time, you see the symbolism, rising sun. It may seem an obvious headline, but to them, it's symbolic. The sun is constantly used. Which brings me to this, the secret language. If you're running a secret operation, then you need your codes and you need your symbols that your initiates understand and can read, but the general population don't even know what's going on. And here's some examples of that as we go along, because these are all around us. The Illuminati, one of the great Illuminati symbols over the years, this was a Templar symbol, was the skull and bones. This is on a Freemasonic apron from the last century. And so, as a result of that skull and bones symbol of the Illuminati, we get one of the most notorious secret societies in the whole of North America, the Skull and Bones Society. Most famous member, George Bush, soon to be most famous member, George W. Bush. And his father, George Bush's father, George W.'s grandfather, Prescott Bush, was also a member of this Skull and Bones Society. Invitation by bloodline only. And the Russell Trust that related to the Russell family and Charles Taze Russell that started the Jehovah's Witnesses are the people who funded the creation of the Skull and Bones Society. And the Russell Trust used to use Skull and Bones flags on their ships as they ran drugs into China during the Opium Wars for the British or the Illuminati based in Britain. Skull and Bones is a major symbol, but the pyramid is even bigger than that. And it's not just that the pyramid is a symbol in the coded language. The pyramid is a geometrical structure which does things to energy, particularly if you plonk them in these vortex points. And so they've used the pyramid not just as a symbol, but also to manipulate energy. A few years ago, during the reign in France of the 33-degree Freemason François Mitterrand, they staggered anyone with an eye for aesthetics by building this big glass pyramid right next to the Louvre Museum, this beautiful museum in Paris. And people were staggered. And they had a ritual opening of this ugly friggin' thing. There's Margaret Thatcher and all these other people here. All the heads of Europe were there. Now, why did they put that there? In a few minutes, we'll see why they put it there. The pyramid with the all-seeing eye, the all-seeing eye, the watchers from that hand by that Credo Mutwa's artifact, is a massive Illuminati symbol. This is the guiding force that controls the pyramid. And this was put on the dollar bill, this ancient Illuminati symbol, by Franklin Delano Roosevelt, one of the major frontmen for the Illuminati in the 20th century, in 1933. And this is a mass of esoteric symbolism which the Illuminati initiates understand and the rest of us don't understand. It breaks down, it is said, all that Latin and stuff on it as he favors our undertaking new order of the ages, or words to that effect. And down the bottom, by the way, it says May the 1st, 1776. Now, people have taken that to be the year of the Declaration of Independence. That's why it's on the dollar bill. Or it doesn't say May the 1st, it says 1776. But on May the 1st, 1776, something else happened. There was the creation of a major element within the Illuminati network called the Bavarian Illuminati that was behind many of the manipulations and wars and conflicts in Europe which followed. Again, you see this. This is the R.J. Reynolds Tobacco Company. The Reynolds is one of the bloodlines out of North Carolina. And the R.J. Reynolds Tobacco Company was owned at one time, maybe it still is, by the Gray family that are very, very close to George Bush. In North Carolina, in the area that this company controls, people don't realize this, that race purity did not end with Adolf Hitler. In 1946, in North Carolina, in the area that this lot controlled, R.J. Reynolds and the families that control it, children were given intelligence tests, and those that fell below a certain level were forcibly brought with their parents in front of a eugenics court, and little boys and little girls were sterilized because they did not reach the desired level of intelligence. That was not in Nazi Germany. That was in 1946 in North Carolina. The Nazis and the fascists did not end in 1945. They just took the jackboots off and the uniforms and put on business suits and smart shirt and ties. Again, the all-seeing eye keeps coming up again and again. This, look at that, this is the symbol of British intelligence. Look at it, British intelligence. That, by the way, the fleur-de-lis is a symbol of the Merovingian bloodline, and it goes back to, this is the Babylonian Trinity. You'll find that everywhere, particularly in relation to British royalty. This is MI5, and British intelligence is the premier intelligence operation in the world that controls, indeed created, the CIA, and certainly will be massively influential in affairs in Canada. Even the all-seeing eye is on the capstone at the top. Again, this is triads from China, same thing, because they all connect in the end at the top level. This is Fidelity Investments, again, the same thing, recurring. And the eye, the all-seeing eye, CBS television. And what does CBS stand for? Columbia Broadcasting. Everywhere you look, you see this stuff once you start to see what's going on. Now, what you're looking at here, and if I saw this for the first time and heard what I'm about to say, I might say, don't be bloody daft. But when you put it together with all the rest, you start to realize that there is nothing that is a coincidence in Illuminati symbolism. This is Dealey Plaza. This is where they killed Kennedy. They killed him in a street plan of a pyramid with a capstone missing. That is a railway bridge that cuts off the join. Now, this area is very, very sacred to the Secret Society network. This is where they put the first Freemasonic temple in Dallas. And they killed him here, Kennedy here, in this, what is to them, a sun temple in their kind of the way that they see the world and their ritual. Now, I'm going to come back to Kennedy in a second because he fits in many areas. Now we come to the main Illuminati symbol, which you'll see all over the place. It's the lighted torch or the flame. And this comes, not in part at least, from another recurring story from the ancient world. And that is of some hero who took fire from the gods, fire equaling knowledge, and handed it to humans. In other words, these bloodlines, it seems. Now, this is the most famous one, a Greek hero called Prometheus, who was supposed to have taken fire, knowledge from the gods, and given it to humans. Now, this, therefore, the flame became a major Illuminati, the major Illuminati symbol. Now, this gold statue of Prometheus is actually in the Rockefeller Center in New York. It was put there by the Rockefellers, the bloodline branch managers of America, and further afield. And there's a plaque there to that effect. Now, to the Rockefellers, that is massive symbolism, which they understand about the bloodlines holding the knowledge and using it for this agenda. Now, that's what that is. And how high this guy up is in the hierarchy for a president, then everything starts to fall into place. This guy, George Bush, has an astonishing history. And if you just read my books or go into the website, you'll see the sort of stuff this guy is into. Walk down. They took over America under the guise of freedom. And then we've got old Thomas Jefferson, another bloodline guy. He actually wrote that all men are created equal while owning 200 black slaves. I mean, can I have a word, Nate? Just a little. And now we come down these bloodlines of presidents to this guy, George W. Bush. And maybe he won't win the election, but 3 years ago I predicted that he would be the next president of the United States. Not because I'm a genius or a prophet, but because when you understand the bloodlines, it's another reason why there's 10 bodies, 6 of them children, under the bloody floorboards. The first president of the United States, George Washington, was not just a high-degree Freemason. The whole inaugural ceremony was run by Freemasons. There's pictures of it, the bloody aprons as they word it. I mean, you know what I mean? Because right up to the present day, very easy to say. You don't have to live it, you just have to convince the people that that's the case. Then you do as you like. It's called winning elections.